You don't think there's such a thing as
No.
the chess mafia?
No, I really don't.
But if it would be, you would definitely be part of it.
Well, so long as I would be like, a chief, chieftain.
You would like to be a chief.
I don't
of the
want to be
mafia.
a soldier.
Okay. Okay.
Don't want to be sent on the side.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Penultimate round is over.
Yeah.
We have a champion
We
in the
do.
women's section, Carissa Yip. We'll get there in just a second. Let's start with the open section and what happened there, because some crazy games in today's round.
Yeah, I'm not altogether satisfied with the quality of the games. In particular, the game we're about to discuss, Lanier. Fabi really did give Lanier an excellent opportunity to get a beautiful dark square blockade. After the move d5 question mark by Fabi, d4 exclamation mark by Lanier.
Really good move.
Really good move. You're going to get control of the c5 squares. You're going to get control of the d4 squares. You're going to put your pawn on b4, your knight on d4, and you're going to have a free attack.
Yes.
Lanier went knight d4, knight takes f5.
Knight d4 was sort of the start of everything going downhill for him,
Maybe
because
even
he
queen
missed
c5
queen g5
as well. Yeah.
He missed queen g5.
Right.
And after queen g5 already is starting to become a little bit tricky. You have to
Right.
go rook to e3. That's the best move.
That's
but
right.
it's not that clear, because with the bishop on f5, attacking the pawn on c2, it's not as easy to leave that bishop
Agreed.
on the board.
Agreed.
Now, he takes on f5, queen f5.
And suddenly,
It's black who is better.
Right.
Fabi's back in the game, not only
Wow.
that, but with a shout.
indeed, and thereafter, by the way, Lanier had to play quite good moves to hold.
And he did.
And he did.
He did.
And he did. So, a decent result, but for Fabi, he shouldn't be giving his opponent these amazing chances. He gave one to Awonder yesterday, to Lanier today. Doesn't feel
It's
the
the end
quality.
of the tournament. It's the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting tired.
Yeah, it's
Everybody's
kind of,
getting tired right now.
He's running across the finishing line, going backwards.
It feels like it happened the same last year, right? He started off with a bang, won a few games, and then just coasted more or less with made draws all the way until the end. It seems to be the nature of the tournament.
Right. Awonder versus Wesley So, a little bit of a fizzle, but wow, Awonder has played very well.
Awonder is getting better position with black. Every single game.
I think Kate told me during the show that he had scored 4 out of 5 with the black pieces, which is like, wow, give me that score. I win all the tournaments. That's just an amazing score with the black pieces. Okay, he drew today, but from a position of strength, I would
He
say.
did, and
Yeah.
I think he had some chances to maybe even get more.
Than what he did.
I'm trying to remember exactly. Rook to f7 he played, and rook to f3 was
We were thinking h5
H5,
somewhere.
that's
There was
the
a
moment.
moment for h5.
I think that was the moment. So he played rook f7, rook f3. At this point, you have to start with h5.
Right, to put
Get
some
going.
pressure on.
Get going.
But Wesley, again, more or less like Lanier, felt the heat and defended very, very well.
It seems like all these top players, they realize something went wrong in the opening, and they immediately pull the brakes.
Exactly.
They know exactly when to pull the brakes.
Yeah, they have a high risk alarm.
Yes.
The Sams. Wow, Sam Sevian played, let's face it, I mean, tip your hat. Quite an impressive game, and when you think about Sevian's tournament overall, you really have to be proud of this young man. He had this tragedy against Lanier. If he doesn't have that tragedy, he's been in a very impressive tournament. He'd be fighting for first with Fabi.
He was on +1, had a completely winning position against Lanier, could have went on +2. If
Exactly.
he wins that, and he wins today as well, which was the result of today's game, we'll get that in a second, then he would be on +3. That's equal score with Fabiano. Now let's
Impressive.
talk about the game, because this wasn't easy at all. From the get-go, Sam Shankland came with some incredible preparation in the Catalan. Got, let's say, an imbalanced position, something that you want whenever you have the knowledge
Right.
about the position. But Sam Sevian really handled it perfectly, I would say.
In some ways, we saw the preparation up to and including the move f7, f5, a move I didn't particularly impress me. Then later, somehow the b5 and the b2 pawns were gone.
Yes.
Right? And then it was 3 pawns versus a piece. And I thought Sam Shanklin would have the better chances because he had the great blockade. Somehow he lost a kingside pawn. We didn't see it all because we were looking at some of the other games that held our attention a little bit more so. But you're right. There was some heavy preparation, and well,
I'm also curious about
Sevian handled the business better.
this moment after bishop to f6 that you just mentioned.
Yes.
What
Instead
if
of
Sam
F5?
takes on no f5 and bishop f6? What if he takes on c4? This was the line that I was analyzing. b4, and now you go knight to d5. You give the rook on a1.
Yeah,
And
then
queen
you,
takes d3. You play for the dynamic play.
right. Kate and I, we looked at that and we thought it's easier to play white,
For white.
even though we're in exchange down.
It is a big risk because you are in exchange and a pawn down.
But your pieces are beautiful. Yeah, your
and I feel like
coordination.
perhaps this was what Sam had in his file. Maybe he misremembered, because I felt like that was the most critical line. Anyway,
Agreed.
Sam Sevian plays a great game, wins it with tremendous technique in the
Right.
end game.
Ray Robson, kudos to Ray, had a very bad start in these U.S. championships. He wins his final game of the tournament, beats Mishra,
Finishes
who-
on +1.
Right. I mean, wow.
From
he'll take
-2 to
that.
+1.
I mean,
that's not bad.
come on, that's fantastic. I mean, what could have been, a lesser grandmaster might have just collapsed and said, like, just let me get out of here. I'll draw all my games and go home. Ray, formidable competitor that he is, fought back.
And we're saying that he finished the tournament because tomorrow he has a rest day.
He has the bye.
has the bye, and that's it. He played
Right.
his last game of the tournament.
Agreed.
Women's.
Yeah, I mean, Carissa, she will not like what happened today. That was bad, just bad. I mean, she's won the tournament. Congratulations. But when you start 8-0, your expectation is for, a big trump, a big triumph. You draw your last 3 games, okay, plus 8, you didn't get your Bobby Fischer prize. Losing your next 2 games, no. And today especially, because Anna Zatansky was at one moment just much worse.
Yes.
Carissa and Anna had no time. It was just, it looked like Carissa was putting some nice touches, slip, big slips. And whoa, Anna gets her first only win
I feel
thus
she
far.
lost the track when she played that move bishop to d3. She had 20 minutes against 2 minutes, and then Anna found that very important g6 move,
Right.
kind of a decoy,
Exactly.
so that I can get my
Yeah.
perpetual with queen e6, queen h3 if you go queen g7.
Right.
So I feel that was a detail that she missed,
Right.
and she couldn't recover psychologically after that.
For me, I thought Carissa just played really well up into the move queen takes d5. I didn't think she needed to grab the pawn on d4. The queen is so majestic on d5, and really she had a great game. I'm still mystified by the move bishop b5 check. You corrected me and said, "Oh, this is mainline theory." It's a standard move, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, geez,
Crazy.
This is crazy. You're inviting c6 with a gain of tempo. Only then do you go back to d3. And I'm like, wait a minute, the pawn's better on c6 than on c7. No, it's not. You have to play for c5 suddenly. Knight f6 to d7, scratch my head, click my heels together and wondering, where am I?
Still, kudos to, first of all, Carissa Yip. Carissa Yip
Yes.
played a tremendous tournament
Yes.
overall, 8 out of 8. Obviously,
She-
everybody was talking about the Bobby Fischer prize.
Right.
She couldn't get it done.
Right.
Maybe some problems psychologically towards the end of the tournament, but still a tremendous performance for her.
Absolutely.
3 national championships at only 21 years of age.
Ridiculous. What a resume. I mean, winning a
ridiculous.
national championship is tough. Winning 3 before you turn 21, I think my debut was at 21. And I mean, wow. It goes to show it's a young ladies' sport, isn't
Absolutely,
it?
absolutely. It
Yeah.
seems to be the case. And that happened because Begim with the black pieces against Alice
my
Lee.
goodness.
4 versus 4, completely
Oh,
balanced
my
game from the
goodness.
beginning, from the get-go. No separation between these two ladies. And then Begim loses 4 versus 4 in a rook endgame.
Yeah, sometimes you lose your head.
What just
I don't
happened
know what happened at all. She missed rook f4, that's clear. She still has the draw with the move king d5, but already it's like sometimes you just overplay your hand.
Yes.
This is clear. By the way, to her credit, she has been the one in these championships taking the high risks.
Yes, she has.
Begim. It's worked out for her.
Yes,
she
she
was in
has.
clear second,
Yes.
taking these high risks. But at the end there, a draw would more or less secure second, because obviously Alice
She would be a
was
point ahead in the lead
Right.
compared to Alice.
And you have to remember,
At least a
it's-
tie for second. And I
Yes.
think by tie breaks probably she would win it because
Maybe. But you have to remember that this is a qualifier for the World Cup. That's a big
one.
event.
That's a big one.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could potentially become a candidate. So, secure your qualification, right?
Yes.
Make that draw.
It just shows how brutal chess is. in
It's
general.
unforgiving.
I mean, you lose focus for one move, and
Right.
that was just a loss of focus because she had 23 minutes. I think
Right.
she relaxed. She thought that she can make a draw more or less with king to e5. Perhaps she was already calculating f7 and seeing how they're going to make a draw.
Mhm.
And then rook f4, the cold shot, the absolute cold shot.
Oh dear.
And you don't even have the formation to create the fortress with
Yeah.
the rook and a pawn because your pawn is too advanced on
Right.
h4.
Exactly.
It's
Oh, brutal.
it's brutal.
Speaking of unforgiving errors, Tatev, she
Oh
just
my
blundered her
goodness.
e7 pawn. We called it a pride and joy at that moment. She had, wow, I think many ways to victory, but Irina, the ladies are just fighters.
What an
They're just-
absolutely crazy game, right?
Wow. Yeah, no, that really, really was. I
Yeah.
mean, back and forth mayhem.
2 bishops, queen versus queen, and 2 rooks, and a pawn
No,
ready to
E7.
promote.
Yeah, I think we had 3 queens
I've-
on a lot of our variations.
I haven't seen a crazy game like this in a long time.
Unless you're a fan of Alexei Shirov's Fire on Board.
Yes.
You got to look for Alexei's games to discover one like that. That was really remarkable.
Thalia gets her victory against Megan Lee.
Very-
Very mercurial performance by Megan Lee. Winning,
Yeah.
losing, winning, losing, beating Carissa Yip. Now losing against Thalia Cervantes.
And Thalia, also like Ray Robson, she didn't have a great start. She's
She's on
not.
5 now. She's
Wow.
on 50%, back to 50%.
Okay. She's feeling a lot happier about herself in her tournament.
Finishing thoughts after today's round, Yasser?
Yeah, well, championship tomorrow. I mean, all eyes will be on the Open as well as who's going to get second
Yes.
in the ladies. So, Fabi, will he bring his A game? These last 2 games have not been his best.
He has the white pieces against Sam Shankland. Sam Shankland obviously not feeling very good about today's game.
Right.
He has a good chance to put some pressure, and if he wants to win it outright without having to worry about anybody's
A
game,
Wonder.
he needs to win it.
Exactly. Who does a Wonder play again?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
We'll
I don't
have to
know.
look
But
it
he
up.
does have the white pieces also.
Okay.
Who? Lanier.
Lanier.
Lanier,
No,
yes,
that's
one
not
of
an
them.
easy
But
man to get past.
Somewhat doable. I mean, look, if you're looking for a fight, you
right.
should definitely.
A little vulnerable.
Why not?
Right
Lanier with the white pieces. Lanier probably wants to win as well.
Sure.
If he wins with black, he might be looking at the podium also.
Okay.
I don't know where he stands right now, but it's very, very tight at the top. So,
Indeed it is.
Yasser, thank you very much once again for another
My
great
pleasure.
recap. And leave
My
your
pleasure.
comments. Tell us what you think about these ones. Yasser will be reading comments. He doesn't like to watch
I
the
can't
videos,
watch my
but he will be
broadcast.
reading the comments. So leave some nice comments for Yasser, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.